First of all, I'd like to apologize for the attire in these videos because I'm still recovering from poison oak that the saboteurs have placed because I haven't been hiking or anything like that. I haven't been touching any dogs or animals. There's no logical reason for me to have it, but I'm still recovering from it, so I can't really wear my nicer shirts or my nicer gis. With that being said, in this video I will expel the deplorable falsehood that, up against a trained fighter I would lose, or so on and so forth. How do you think I got this martial arts trophy? Did I get it from fighting white belts? Of course not. Stupid to think that. I got it from going against trained fighters and beating every last one of them. With that being said, I've spent the last 20 years sparring with Kung Fu masters, capoeiristas, Taekwondo guys, Kempo guys, so on and so forth. A Golden Glove boxer. I beat them all. Over 100 victories, no loses. So you tell me. You tell me. How could they make such an absurd claim? And when I met the last challenger through somebody, he specifically said he's a martial artist too, and that he wants to compare martial arts skills and accept my challenge. And he was very respectful about that, and I could tell that this was somebody who was using a facade or under the guise of respect, but really he had ulterior motives. And if you look at how he did his guard, it implied that he was familiar with different martial arts techniques, and his blows were similar to that of an MMA fighter. And at one point, for no reason at all, he seemed to try to jump on top of me in a similar way that an MMA fighter would. Possibly affiliated with AKA Jim, and he lost 10-0. So I've pretty much only sparred and competed with trained fighters all of my life. And let me also remind you that these are transferable skills. What does that mean? It means that can turn into that. Okay? So the same martial arts principles are similar ones. Despite what the atheists think, I just proved them wrong in that little clip alone. A little part of this clip alone. I have just proven them wrong. So what does this have to do with psychiatry and social norms? Well, psychiatry drugs people whose behavior is not socially normative, especially if it fits certain criteria. Rapid speech, mood swings, things that have many other causes, chemicals, drugs, pregnancies for women, being upset, having just worked out, and your brain is in rapid mode. If you've just done an intensive workout, you just did a sprint, or you just boxed, or you've done anything that increases your heart rate and requires you to think quickly. Your brain is therefore trained on doing stuff quickly. And so then for me to talk quickly afterwards is what you would expect. So when you see a martial artist who trains for 1 to 2 hours a day at least, talking quickly in a video, or acting angry, are we to then be surprised? What if they say, "What?" And they make this kind of angry face? How many of you think it's out of the ordinary for martial artists to make an intense face when they're doing something intense or talking about something intense? Japanese Kung Fu guy, for example, right? Is that a sign of a mental disorder? No. This is exactly what you would expect. It's not just socially normative. It's pretty much what you would expect, unless you're going to a more whitewashed American dojo or gym. You'd expect this sort of strict, this is a dead serious, art, dead serious martial art that comes down from my family or my ancestors or my instructor, and I'm taking this seriously. You don't disrespect the art, or I'm going to be very serious about it. So when you have little ninnies in the comments, you know, poking fun at a great warrior, the top martial artist, who takes it just as serious, if not more serious than any other martial artist, what do you expect? What is socially normative? Right, right. So now you're starting to feel me. Watch that one video, I think it's part 6 or so, when I talk about, you know, when I throw the money at the beginning and I go through tons of points that are just priceless points, irrefutable points as to why there is nothing wrong with me and how functioning, you know, I function better off coughing. Yeah, because I clogged the vent. Perhaps the gas is in other rooms now. Yes, right on cue. I don't know if you heard that. Another cough, like 3-4 coughs in a row. Yes, they were gassing me, and they probably still are. And since I've sealed the vent, it might be going in other rooms. Sort of karma. The people who are playing stupid, who, you know, have colluded with psychiatry, who don't know me very well, other than, it's time for dinner. Did you take your medicine? You know, now have a taste of their own medicine, if you will. And no, it doesn't bring me any pleasure in it. I do not think it's funny. Just like I do not think it's funny that there's a bunch of gay men who look like emos or in Speedos holding each other's hands, crying, talking about we were unable to stop him from uploading. He has outsmarted us even though we have PhDs and he just has a bachelor's degree. Because I am perceptive and insightful. So even where I might lack expertise, I outdo those who have the expertise, and I've shown this time and time again. Part of the reason why I'm the top martial artist, and not people who have been training martial arts longer than I have, when it comes to applications, self-defense, combat skills, and sparring, which demonstrates all of these things. And I would like to think spiritual development. So with all this being said, I want you to truly understand what it means when the top martial artist says, you are wrong about me. There shouldn't be a single person on the planet who disagrees. I want you to truly think about this question. I'm going to leave this clip at this question. Could you be the top martial artist in America and suffer from a mental illness that you are unable to perceive? And the second part of this question is, if you did see that you had a mental illness, why on earth wouldn't you address it? Especially if it's stopping you from functioning, which is the whole purpose of treatment. Psychiatry is a fraud, a deadly one, a harmful one, an oppressive one. And when the white man and the Jews are the oppressors for the most part, it becomes a form of racial oppression, a mechanism of racial oppression. Thank you. Trained fighters or not, we all know that they would all struggle